Cut!
Hi everyone, I'm Amena and welcome back explorers to my vlog. Also, if you happen to be new here or are a repeat visitor, be welcome. Be sure to also look down below in the description for all credits given. And with all that said, good morning everyone. And yes, today I am going to be a gobliness. I'm actually kind of surprised because it used to be using Vroid Studio, you couldn't actually have bangs. You had to get something else to make them visible. Um, so this is a bit of a beta VTuber model for me. It's not done quite. So I still have to tweak it a little bit. So this is the only time you'll be seeing this version. But still, I thought it was appropriate for what we're going to be talking about. And with my last vlog, I mentioned that we would be talking a little bit more about Rosario and Vampire. Last time I was focusing more on the anime and games, I think. But today, I'm going to be focusing more on the manga and anime. Well, actually, more the anime because I've not read the manga. So, if I actually could, it would probably be a good idea if I did. Especially if it's in English. Yeah. So, Rosario and Vampire started out as a manga that got translated into an anime. The difference between the manga and the anime is this. The manga is done, and Skune, who is the protagonist of both the manga and anime alike, I think, is extremely loyal to Milka in the manga. Uh, I I don't know what to say about the anime aside from this. Poor Skune is just a high school student who is going to Yokai Academy, which is a school made for monsters by monsters, or rather, yokai. And yokai, according to Japanese folklore, are not specifically demons. They aren't specifically monsters. They aren't specifically uh, ghosts or spirits. They're simply yokai, whatever that means. So I think the best way to put it is yokai are supernatural beings. But technically, um, if we're going with the thought of Yokai Academy being a school for monsters, made by monsters, and goblins, according to other folklores, are, well, basically monsters. It makes sense that I'd use this particular VTuber model. So, I have to mention again, this is in beta form. So I'm just testing it and tweaking what it actually looks like for later on. And yes, I do plan on using my bunny girl and my gobliness for when I'm actually VTubing and when I'm VTubing for games. Specific games, mind you. So, I, sadly, I'm one of these people who, if I can look one way or another that is related to the game, I'll do that if I can. But that aside, now that I've covered manga and the anime sort of, I'm going to mention a little bit more about the anime. So, there's this whole transformation sequence for Mokwa when her rosary is removed. So at first I was thinking maybe this is a magical girl anime, but uh, well, when you come right down to it, normal girl becomes super powerful girl to take on bad guys. E, that's usually the magical girl setup. But it's not actually just magical girl. I might look at it as a magical girl anime, but there's also lots of fan service throughout the anime. And when you look Rosario and Vampire up under animes, you'll find it under harem. One either guy or one girl with multiple people of the opposite sex and gender uh, going to one single person, declaring their love or just hanging around them a lot. Uh, well, when you come right down to it, yep, that that kind of fits with Rosario and Vampire. Or even though I'm saying Rosario and Vampire, if I really want to be technical about it and use complete English for it, it would be Cross and Vampire. Um, does that make sense? I think it does. Oh, wow. And, of course, there has to be the storyline, the humor, the the fourth wall breaks that lead into the humor, and of course, the Bat Co. So, overall, and I have watched both seasons of Rosario and Vampire. So, what I can say is there is an overarching storyline that will hold your attention if you're not into it for the fan service and harem shenanigans and, well, the magical girl transformations. So if you're more of a fan of storyline, trust me, there is a storyline within the anime. And it sets it up in the very first episode of the anime but you have to watch it all the way through, including all the fan service, shenanigans, and harem stuff, to actually get the end result of the storyline. So far. I should say, so far. The anime did not cover the entirety of the manga, which is sad to say. But is there. The humor is, well, the humor that you can find in it, for the most part, has more to do with harem humor. However, humor, there's humor that is associated with the fourth wall breaks that happen quite often in this anime. It's like, uh, for example, characters saying, I was just introduced last episode. Why did it take so long for you to get to me? And of course, they're like the Batco, who is a side character that acts as a narrator, actually does say this showdown took so many seconds, or who is she talking to anyway? But it turns out, even in the first season, that Ko is set up as a continual character because in the second season, yeah, he has a more active role. Even gets a um episode for himself and actually states, I never thought I'd be calling a showdown on myself. And oh wow, there's gotta be vampires, and isn't there something about Dracula destroying his castles and video games? Maybe? Either way, it's just give the anime a try. And I'm pretty sure you might be able to find it on Crunchyroll or something like that. I can't remember where I found it, but the first place I actually saw the very first season of Rosario Vampire is on Netflix. Sadly, they didn't keep it. I wish they did. Instead, that was replaced by The Vampire Knight. I actually think the humor is a bit charming, and yes, the harem shenanigans are not as overdone as they are in more modern day harem animes. However, the fan service that I was mentioning, fan service like panty shots, I'm like, okay, why is this the thing? Why is this needed? And why? I was actually surprised that this particular anime was actually shown on a kids network. I I think it was TBS, though I'm not sure what time it was. Either way, that's if you were watching cable TV. I don't watch cable anymore. Either way, that's my take on the anime of Rosario Vampire. I actually did enjoy watching it, and I do recommend you watch it if you can find it. And yes, I'm looking for the manga so I can actually find out what's going on. Uh, what winds up happening. Does Skune and Mocha get together? Or no, is Mocha and her little sister is Kokua. That's why I'm getting mixed up. But this little sister isn't introduced till the second season. Oh well. Either way, I think I've talked your ears off long enough, so I'm going to actually leave you all with this. If you have been enjoying my content, please feel free to leave a like and or subscribe. You can also leave a comment down below in the comment section. Be sure to hit that notification bell because YouTube doesn't always like to share. Be safe, be healthy, and as always, be true to you. Amena, signing out.